And now, the continuation.
Look at that house. I'm sure there must have been a lot of junk for us. It does really look like a gold mine for trash. Let's go ask. Good morning. Is there anyone home? We're the Junk Brothers, and we're collecting junk. So, you're the Junk Brothers, huh? Well, you came to the right place. Hi, Marty. I think we've made a mistake. I think so, worm. But since you're here, don't leave without taking some of what I have for you.
Place some pumpkin piles, get Junk Brothers what they deserve, and get some witch hula hoops. So yeah, welcome back, folks. This is the second part to this long special book. Felt like nothing happened, but it's the next day for me. Yeah, so here's something strange, as you'll probably notice right now. So Marty's doing his animation of scaring, like, his purpose is to scare the two kids. However, as you'll notice, Slappy as well as Mr. Wood, for some reason, are now scared. Like, I don't know what happened there. Like, what kind of error went on? Like, look at this. Why is he scared? He's not supposed to be scared. Apparently, Marty is so terrifying it scares both Mr. Wood and Slappy. And, yeah, it's like he's going around just bullying everybody, but normally what's supposed to happen is that he's only scaring Sonny and Sam. And this is like a long hour period. So just know, this, as long as you buy this bundle, he has this task. So you could technically just farm scares with this ability. There's no like cooldown, there's no like, oh, only one and that's it kind of deal. None of that. So, at the moment, I'm just placing down some of the items or the extra items I already had from this update. Because, you know, if you want to look more in depth with the Halloween items, I would advise you to check out the what do you call the original Haunted Halloween that I've made before. It would give you a better understanding of all this items and stuff. For the most part, when this game update came back in 2018 for Halloween, they had a lot of spooky stuff that actually made sense, and I quite enjoyed, especially since they had that weird iconic, I guess, Goosebumps Haunted Halloween logo for a pumpkin, which is like the three-eyed one. I don't know, I noticed that was like a design that they seemed heavily implied with, but yeah. So most of the items are here, besides some. The inflatables have been moved to another update, which I will talk about when we get into November of this year, as well as looking into, this used to be premium, and then it just came into free last year for, I guess, Halloween. And yeah, that's about it, all that stuff there. The only thing I haven't seen return back is probably the ghosts. But I might be mistaken on that. But yeah, I remember they used to be like 30, 60, 90 coins. And then this is what you need for the witch. So you just need the hats, the hula hoop girl, and the witch's masks, which makes sense. Which is why it's kind of strange when we finally get into the haunted, Horrorland. What exactly they're going to be changing about that, or if they're going to include that with it again. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to go around with this, but so far they seem to be pretty decent. And yeah, so now we've got this going, so let's see what the questline has for us. Shall we?
Sam, I give up. We'll never decorate the whole school by ourselves. I'm tired. We've walked all day, and on top of that, Marty tried to rip our heads off. We're far from home. In fact, I've never been in this part of the city. Where are we? We can't give up now, Sonny. I know we'll make it. We just have to know where to look. Let's try one more house. I bet the house with the green walls have just what we're looking for. Alright, one more house. But then we'll need to rest and eat a sandwich.
Okay, so this part here is when they're referring to Slappy's house. I looked back and it is green. So this is the house itself it's referring to. Unfortunately, I can't continue because you need Sonny in this, and he's helping me with the Trick or Trap update. So yeah, as you can see, the greenhouse, I'm guessing this is what they're referring to here, this type of house, which is Slappy's. Interesting enough, the only stories that are missing are the side quests with other characters, as well as Slappy. Slappy had like a 5-part, story that I'm surprised wasn't included because it actually explained a lot more in depth with what's going on, so some stuff is missing.
What a horrible doll! What trash pile did you find that monstrosity in?
I'm sorry, but that was a funny insult, calling Slappy a trash dummy.
For your information, it's called Slappy, and we didn't find it in any dumpster.
Slappy? What a dumb name. It's so lame it's not even funny.
Listen, I didn't give him that name. That's what he's called, or at least that's what he told us.
So you're telling me this doll spoke to you? Do you think I'm stupid or something?
The answer is yes to both questions. Now can you leave? We have an entire school to decorate.
Obtain a jack-o'-lantern, obtain light-up coats, and obtain a jack-in-the-box. So, as of example for this, they're talking about how this doll called himself Slappy. Slappy's quest, 5-part quest, the beginning of it actually introduced them with Slappy, just like in the movie. So you're missing out on that. The side stuff with the other characters isn't really too important, and it could be excluded because they're just a side thing, and it just adds the Halloween feel. It's a disappointment that that's missed out. But if you want more in depth with the whole story, I do recommend you look into my full walkthrough of sorts to the Haunted Halloween when it first came back in 2018. Though, if you don't want to hear my bad takes back in the day trying to, like, my quality, you can always mute me and just kind of read on your own. I think that's usually the best to bet. But hey, sometimes comedy, quality is subjective. And back in the day, I was just trying to find my footing. So, the inflatable gargoyle isn't requested for this part to spawn them, but you do need them in order to get one of the items, which I've showcased during this part here, what exactly is needed. And, yeah, what I was saying before, when I stated this part is going to be long, it is. It's like going to be clocking in at about an hour and almost 18 minutes, and that's just me splitting it in half, so it's going to be a bumpy ride. I might as well talk about this with the gargoyle. I'm not 100% sure, besides the spider and the spider, the gummies, as well as the witches to be the ones inside the movie, but I think the other decorations here were just added in to kind of splice it up for making it look interesting. And the reason I'm saying that is because some of these decorations are actually based off of real life Halloween decorations you can get in stores. I've seen people post stuff like, "Oh, look, I found a spider," or "Look, it's the inflatable madman," right? So it's been a while since I recall exactly. I know 3 of them are confirmed to be in the movie because they're iconic, right? But the others are just kind of like, they're there, right? I remember somebody was saying that there's like this skeleton walking a dog, and like a skeleton dog, and they're like, "Oh, that's like Curly and Drool," and I'm like, no, it's just some rando skeleton decorations, right? Drool is an actual bulldog. Well, Curly is, with pink mohawk and some cool shades, right? And that.
Why do you let that girl Sarah treat you like that? She's my older sister, and she's always bothering me. She thinks she can tell me what to do.
I think she knows that you're smarter than her. She's bullying you to hide her own insecurity. You're better than her, and you could achieve everything you want if you just got rid of her. But you probably don't want to listen to my opinion. After all, I'm a simple doll. I'm not a smart guy like you.
You're not simple. And you're not just a doll. You're my friend, Slappy. Well, that's sad.
Also, you're just going to ignore the fact that he said that you should probably get rid of your sister, and you just like, whew. Yeah, that's a very gullible move there on Sonny's part, but don't worry, it gets even worse, because these teens, you know, ooh.
Just look at all these Halloween decorations. If they were real, they'd make a whole army of monsters.
And there are still many more to finish. We'll have to get everything done by tomorrow.
Do you mean that you painted all these decorations? That's incredible! I'm so lucky to have been rescued from that horrible house where I've been abandoned.
We're the ones who are lucky to have found you, Slappy.
I gotta tell you, it sure is nice to have a family again.
Alright, obtain the Junk Brothers cargo and keep improvising the Tesla coil. Now, what's interesting is that Slappy here is a bit of a savage in the movie, the second one, because I think there were some occasions where he tried to kill somebody. I think I remember there was a moment where a kid was on a, like, decorating, and he decided to knock him off the ladder. Now, luckily, because it's somewhat of like a PG movie, he didn't really die. Also, why is Sonny on top of the roof there? That's kind of dangerous, but whatever. But yeah, anyways, Slappy in the movie is certainly bizarre. I didn't know fully. I think it was like he was still pissed about his papa, Stein, what he did to him back in the first movie. So he's like, I'm gonna have my own family. So he turns the Quinns' mother into a puppet version. It's real creepy. It's like, oh, ooh.
What is this? A lightning generator? It seems dangerous.
There's nothing to fear, Slappy. It's just our science project. Our goal with this model was to show how you can amplify a power source's voltage and transmit it wirelessly. It's just a miniature version of the Wardenclyffe Towers that's on our outskirt of the city. If that tower worked, it could transmit energy and radio waves to the entire city. Can you imagine that?
Oh, yes, friends. Yes, I can imagine it.
In the game, their friendship seems a little bit sus, but in the movie, though.
Good evening, Mrs. Marr. We are ready to start decorating in school.
All right, I'll let the janitor know you're here. He will help you with whatever you need.
Oh no, I don't think it's necessary to bother Mr. Kruger. We can do it alone.
It won't be annoying. Freddy is here to help. I'll be in my office for whatever you need.
I kid. I know they're referencing Freddy Krueger here. They're actually referring to Freddy Fazbear.
Thank you, Mrs. Marr. We'll get going as soon as possible. Very good. Let's work.
Place the inflatable madman, obtain vampire teeth, and decorate the middle school. And bad jokes are bad. Yeah! What a crappy way to try to throw in Five Nights at Freddy's in there, huh? Nah, that's not really the best bet, but whatever. But yeah, no, that was one of the... This update, when it first came out, they really heavily, like, put in some name drops of horror movies. Like, if you're curious, you can look at my, again, the walkthrough to talk much about that, or you can take a look into the Goosebumps wiki, because on this game, because they mention how all the in-game quotes they've noticed when it comes to all this stuff. Yeah, so this isn't going to be the only reference they've made, but yes, a janitor that's first name is Freddy and last name Krueger. Jeez, I wonder who they're referencing there. Wanna play my... No, I mean, whenever I think about the Freddy Krueger thing in a game, my mind immediately goes to the Angry Video Game Nerds version of him. You like Nintendo? That's so old school. That's like what, 2000? It's like 2007, 2000. Like back in the day when like YouTube was actually just to create. Like it was just recently born. That how old it was. So that's like eons ago in internet age. But yeah, so much good quality there. And what was I talking about? Yeah, so in this part in particular, there will be another reference to a horror movie, which I will mention. Like, I will basically blatantly tell you what it is in here. But, yeah, in the other quest lines that we're missing out on, they did actually go in depth with all the, like, nuances. Like, for example, they mentioned Candyman, they referenced Chucky, they referenced Pennywise. It's like little, like if you were any knowing of horror movies, you'd be like, oh, I know that, you know, like a little cheek nudge nudge, like wink wink kind of implications there. But yeah, Sam is supposed to be done, so we need to load out the school, and once we click it, then we can continue. And hopefully this survives Mr. Kruger's hand.
Excellent. We've done it. With this money, we can afford to get our advertising on the radio. Great, but if we get another big client like this, we better add someone else to the team. You're right, Sonny. If we're expanding our client base, we are going to have to increase the staff.
Why are you going to spend your money on advertising when you could do it for free?
Free? How can you do our advertising broadcast on radio without paying for it?
Who said it would be on the radio? I know a much better place.
And that's the end of this part, so now we're going to continue on to the Halloween night. This is a little bit of a quest line with the kids, and then we're going to jump back into the whole chaos of what exactly Slappy has planned here. So,
who are you supposed to be? Columbo?
I'm Sherlock Holmes. Just look at my hat.
Anyways, you don't look very scary with that disguise.
And you? What are you supposed to be? A bush?
Of course not, Lucy. Who would want to be a bush? I'm the swamp monster.
Well, you look like a bush to me.
Both Lucy and him do trick-or-treating, place the gummy bear stand. I'm not the swamp monster. I'm Man-Thing. I've mentioned this back then where it was reported that R.L. Stine was writing for the Man-Thing books. Oh, they weren't good. Oh, no, they were not good at all, but it was an attempt, let's just put it that way. I think there was a comic book reviewer that actually went in depth with why it didn't really work well. And partially, I think the reason why is because if you looked, Man-Thing and Swamp Thing were like, oh yeah, and I think I'm not sure. I have to look back at my old post. But I think they've recently changed this. I think it's now just a swamp monster and not just, I thought it was like Swamp Thing. I don't know. It might just be my imagination. It might be like I believed this was the case, but not really. And, oh look, looks like, Sarah has a quest for us. Let's see. Come on, Sarah. It'll be fun. Everyone will be at the party. Or were you going to get candy with the kids?
I'd love to go to your party, but I promised my mother I'd take care of my dumb little brother until she returns.
If that's why you can't come, I can get a nanny to take care of him. I can call Laurie for right now.
Laurie Strode? No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you're right, Sarah. The last time Laura Strode tried to babysit someone, a crazy psychopath came around trying to smack the place.
My mother won't be gone for too long. I promise I'll come to your house as soon as she gets back.
Excellent, Sarah. I'll see you later. Babysit Sonny, stay home playing video games, and play video games with Sam. Yeah, so there's our second reference, that being Halloween, with Michael Myers. What was interesting about the Halloween thing was originally it was supposed to be like an anthology movie, so each movie would be its own story. Hence why third one was kind of like had nothing to do with Michael Myers. And I think the reason why it did so poorly was because instead of actually having part 1 and part 2 be one thing, they separated into two movies. Hence people think, oh, therefore Halloween equal Michael Myers. That's where they failed, right? They didn't do like what they're doing now when it comes to, say, American Horror Story. I don't know why that name just kind of clouded in my head.
I thought I was going to have to take care of that doofus Sonny all night. There's still time to get to the party. I'll call Greg to let him know I'm on my way. How strange. No one's picking up. Maybe the music is so loud that no one can hear the phone. Maybe I should go anyways. Greg was very insistent that I go. I'll try again later. If he doesn't pick up the phone, I'll just head over and surprise him.
Yep, so we got that going on with that type of drama, and there's more to it because our kids are finally done with their trick-or-treating, so let's see.
Trick or treat.
Yikes! You almost scared me to death. What are you doing here?
We are trick-or-treating. Do you have any treats to give us? Otherwise, we'll give you a trick.
Oh, I think I have some candy. Let me see. No, I better not do that. Here you go. Take this.
Thank you, Satyr. I suppose. By the way, I like your costume. What are you? A murderer? A zombie?
What costume? Is it Christmas already?
I wonder if he was supposed to be in his monster form there.
Hey, Dustin, don't you think someone should give this boring city a bit of Halloween spirit? I think so, Marty. I hope someone does something about it. Don't be dumb, Dustin. I'm talking about us doing something about it. I mean, just look at all those kids trying to look creepy. Come on, let's show them who the real monsters are. Alright, Marty, let's go scare them. But quickly, I still want to go get some more candy.
Scare some kids as the swamp monster, place the great pumpkin. I love how that used to be like the grand pumpkin to the great pumpkin to just a Halloween pumpkin to just all over the place. But yeah, so this is the other animation that gets unlocked with once you unlock this book, this is the other thing he's allowed to do now, so that's fun. So yeah, we're gonna have him running around like that, like a lunatic. I don't think he actually scares people, by the way. I think he's just running around like that, pretending to scare people. If I remember correctly, in this part in the original one, Marty had the animation of him in like the ghost and like a spooky ghost scares, and I think that's what he was doing in this part. But yeah, we don't got that no more. So
Dustin, enough is enough. It's not funny.
Come on, we're trying to enjoy a bit of Halloween spirit.
I said you were dressed like a bush before. Now you're showing the intelligence of a shrub as well.
That's just hurtful, Lucy. You know I'm supposed to be a swamp monster. A smart one.
Come on, Dustin. Let's get going.
and here comes the fun part with a new monster.
What a fright we gave him. It's the best Halloween of my life. But, what do you want? Do you think you can scare me with that ridiculous costume? Get out of my sight.
Oh, that's spooky. Spawn the witches from Fred Pharmacy. Obtain the witch's hat. You need 2 of them. So technically, I think it's just... It's a nice way of saying just spawn the scene, but you do need the hats anyways. And then you also need to apply... So, as you'll notice when it comes to these special books, it's basically just apply all the items that came with the bundle, and then just play through the quest line and use the new scenes to your advantage. The other thing, too, what I tend to do with these is that I kind of have the spawns, the suppliers, drop these items constantly up until I get to the conclusion bit. Once that gets there, I tend to just kind of cut it off fully and just have this whole, what do you call it, materials. Once they, when I get enough what I need, I tend to just put the production supplier on stop, and then I sell all that stuff off. Rarely do I have them on, but as of right now, seeing how some of the lands are getting a little bit expensive in the millions of coins, I'm going to have to try to farm some items. Hopefully to get enough to have it be spawned. sold off the Seder because I need to make quick cash fast, and I'm trying to find an easy way to do that, and I think I found an exploit when it comes to the one of the new scenes that came out, not the new scenes, but one of the newer books that came out in November that might assist me, but I might talk more about that if I ever do come across it. But until then, let's continue on with the chaos as we get the hat.
What the heck was that? Those monsters almost caught me.
Where did they come from? What's going on? Has anyone seen my brother? Mrs. Marr, have you seen Sonny? He was supposed to be at school. He left with Sam when they finished decorating the school. I'm sorry, but I don't know where he is. I have to find him.
Yep, the chaos has now begun with this, and it gets even worse.
Could someone tell me what's happening?
I don't know, officer, but I'm sure it's just some joker trying to prank us.
Excuse me, officer. I'm looking for my brother, Sonny Quinn. I need to know where he is. Look, there, the Wardenclyffe Tower. It's on.
Impossible! I've spent my whole life here, and I've never seen that pile of junk put into operation.
Don't be stubborn, Mr. Martman. Look, those electric arches are coming directly from the tower.
Yep, obtain the Tesla coil model, which is crap, and then get some Junk Brothers cargo again. Oh boy. I do like the models they actually have in the game, but in this particular case, no. One thing I'll mention is that it's a missed opportunity to see the animation go forward when it comes to the actual Wakefield thing. Recently, we're seeing more animations coming up now when it comes to some suppliers and buildings. I remember a while ago that there used to be an animation when it came to the camp, and I missed how that was the case, and it sucks that it just stopped and didn't animate anymore, because it's like, oh. But apparently, I guess it did so much problems that it couldn't just be. We couldn't switch it off, you know. So we got that going for us. So we'll just have them do this because it's an easy way to get it. You could technically craft this at the crafting area as well, by the way, but really it's not needed. Also, yeah, the vampire thing is still going on around this time as well. But that'll be an interesting topic, I would assume, in November for the November update. Once I get to that part and try to go down from there. But yeah, it's gonna be all over the place with this. So let's just craft this here, and now we're just gonna have to wait. And here's when the big reveal of what is going on.
Please be quiet. We're going to investigate what... Wait a minute. Officer Ramon, change the channels.
That's a weird dialogue. What was going on here? What the... Huh?
The Junk Brothers can decorate and undecorate your house or establishment. 555 Junk. I repeat, 555 Junk.
But isn't that Sonny on the radio? How did he get on the police radio frequency?
If you call now and leave a message on the answering machine with the keyword Tesla, you'll receive a 20% discount. Enough! Move over. It's my turn to use the microphone. And I have an ad to do.
Did you hear that, player? Slappy has an ad for us. I hope you're ready to get this party started.
Oh, Curly, I am. Let's hear what the ad is. Oh, boy. I can't wait.
Those pranksters are on all radio frequencies, even on the emergency ones. I don't know what they're expecting to achieve with this, but they're in serious trouble.
I swear, I got nothing to do with this. I don't know how they are broadcasting on the radio.
Good people, I know how much you like celebrating Halloween, so I've prepared a very special surprise. Karu, Mori, Odana, Loma, Monulu, Karanu! Now you can go out to the street to celebrate a delightful Halloween night.
Brace a gummy bear stand and get some gummy bears. Hey, look, I said the thing, finally. After me avoiding it, I finally properly said it. Oh boy, yes. So I said Slappy's infamous lines that is said to be translated to "You and I are one now," which allows you to, I guess, and here's a close-up on both the big gummy bears and the small ones, I'm happy that they actually made the big gummy bears cost with coins, because now I can actually see all these guys, and it's kind of fun. Cute and deadly. By the way, yeah, I know they made these, like, the enemies of, like, especially when it comes to the dead of night. But, like, yeah, I get, and in the dead of night, they kind of explained that even if you zap it, it kind of reforms, so I can see that. But, like, really, these things are gummy bears. Like, how are they gonna hurt you? That's what I want to know, right? Is it gonna be like the gelatinous cube blob, you know, that just kind of just, like, I don't know, man. I don't think Stein had anything to do with the movie anyways. I think it was just a name in there. By the way, that's the other thing too. I'm actually curious to see what will end up happening, because I honestly, me and a few other people are in theory to say that Slappy World, they've already announced a few more books coming out, but I think Slappy World is the final kind of books that I would believe R.L. Stein will be doing for Goosebumps, in my opinion. And I feel like what's going to happen is they might have someone else continue on with the Goosebumps story, as they, why wouldn't they? Because it makes money. So they would have it under pen names, or they'll do something with that. And here I was just showing you that during the Trick or Trap update, you could technically have Curly give you the gummy bears, so really it just made it a lot more easier, as if it wasn't easy enough already to get, right? I just made it a lot more easier, so thanks for that.
Humans, we're sick and tired of being marginalized by society because you fear us. We will no longer allow you to use our appearance to justify the atrocities you commit. Do you think we celebrate the Day of Humans? No, you're not a reason to celebrate.
Slappy is right.
Shh! Silence, Eugene. They can hear for themselves.
However, I hope you are enjoying the party I have prepared for all of you.
The chaos has now begun, and now it's time to try to stop him.
Sam, we've messed up big time. I'm afraid they're gonna send us straight to jail. I don't want to spend the rest of my life locked in a cell with you. Calm down, Sonny. We'll have to tell everyone what happened and figure out a way to fix it. No one's going to jail. Hang on. Why wouldn't you want to lock up with me? Do I smell bad or something? It's nothing personal, Sam. If I'm going to be in prison for the rest of my life, I'd rather have a cell to myself. Good point. Me too.
Alright, so get some stuffed pumpkins and put some pink flamingos down. Yum yum. Yeah, that's disgusting, by the way. But you could do that, technically. Or you could even do something even better, which I'm going to show off. Which is here. Mrs. Murr can just hide from monsters and give us anyway. So, no point using the crafting. So, there's that. And when we get closer to the end here, when I tell you whether or not this is, like, look at this. We're only halfway there, and there's still more to go. Not even halfway. There's still other quest lines going on. So, oh boy, this is just gonna go. It's a beefy boy. When you buy, you get a big chunk. So it's. I will talk more about whether or not this is a good deal, but suffices to say, I think this whole length of video should tell you that you're getting a big chunk of stuff. So, yeah, you could probably guess what I'm gonna say, but yeah. Near the end, once we get to the final conclusion, I will also share with you. I mentioned that I didn't get Sarah's little animation. I actually ended up filming all the other animations I forgot to show off for the 4 characters that were introduced here. But with that...
Sonny, I'm glad you're okay. I was worried about you.
Sarah, I'm glad you're okay, too. Slappy tricked us. We didn't want to cause this chaos. We just wanted to advertise our business.
You discovered a walking, talking dummy and you didn't tell me?
Well, it seems like a really nice guy at the start. I have a plan. You guys go warn everyone. I'll take care of turning off the Warden Cliff Tower.
During this part, you don't actually get to see what happened to Sam because it is part of a Slappy quest, unfortunately.
Look, the decoration we put in the school. They have come alive and are about to attack Mrs. Marr. Well, we can't save everyone, I suppose. Come on, we have to help her. You're right, I guess. It's true. We must save her.
Hey, look! The Halloween decorations are avoiding those pink flamingos! It's like they're afraid of them.
How weird. But we can take advantage of that. Let's borrow some from that garden.
Yeah, do the gargoyle and get his items. That's a bizarre mention, by the way. I have to recall myself whether or not that was in the movie, because I remember bits and pieces, but I'll be honest, when I watched that movie, it kind of went one ear and went out the other. It like, don't mind, get me wrong, it was okay, but I was just kind of like, man, I should have rewatched it, because honestly, it was one of those. I watched it when I was half dead, so that's my own fault. But I have an adversary. I have the power of the internet on my hands. So let's find out what's the deal with the flamingos. As far if this was just something that Pixowl just picked out of their hats of nothingness to say, to give a reason why they're scared, right? Or if this was like legit something in yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, the whole weirdness of it. I don't... I'm all over the place. I don't even have anything here. It's just a bunch of decorations. Ironically enough, right? A bunch of decorations for, Alright, let me go ahead and try to... Yeah, let me do this here real quick. Alright, whatever. Yeah, we're getting close to this, so let's just see what happens with this next bit.
We need to find a safe place until the spellcast from Slappy ends.
A safe place? Where? Those decorations are everywhere in the city.
Not everywhere. Mr. Mortman's library doesn't have any decorations.
It's true. That killjoy Mr. Mortman is the only one who refused to celebrate Halloween.
Come on, we have to tell everyone to go to the library to be safe.
Don't worry, Dustin. I can assure you that the books won't bite you.
Charming. Yeah, the dialogue certainly made me chuckle, I'll say that. That's an understatement on my behalf.
Mrs. Dark, Mrs. Dark!
What are you doing here? This place is dangerous. Go to your homes and stay there.
We're here to rescue you. We must go to the library. It's the only safe place in the entire city.
You shouldn't have risked your lives to rescue me. But now we must go before they return.
Let's take some precautions. We don't know how long we're going to be locked in the library.
Good idea, Sonny. Everyone grab what they can and let's get out of here.
Okay, hi from the monsters, Wolf Lucy, Mortman, and Mrs. Marr. You may have noticed that one of the beginning parts to Lucy's dialogue ended up looking strange. That's because I had to clip it out from my old videos. And this won't be the only time I'm doing this. The reason why is because when I came back into the game, I accidentally forgot, oh, great, we need this. So I had to quickly try to press the record button, and it ended up skipping. This is the other thing I think they need to fix in the game. I've seen them doing this in the other games, but please, can you just put a confirmation button where you can't move on unless you click this button, because it's really annoying. But anyways, I digress.
You destroy each other through greed and selflessness, then have the nerve to point your fingers at us. You condemned our way of life because it's different from ones you've imposed on us. Do you think ghouls enjoy having to leave their graves and drag their putrid bodies out to look for food?
Can someone turn off that radio? That ventriloquist doll scares me.
He's only expressing what he thinks.
Eugene, give it a rest for now, will you?
That doll scares me. Oh, boo-hoo, baby.
Greg, all my friends are at Greg's house. I have to go and tell them to go to the library. The Milkinsons' house always have the most Halloween decorations in the whole city.
Yeah, because they're rich.
That place must have become a true nightmare. I hope I'm not too late. If I want to go unnoticed among all monsters, I better disguise myself at one of them. I'll take some of the things that Sonny brought. This hat, this mask, this wig. All right, I hope it's enough.
Alright, so tell everyone to go to the library. Basically, this is her, oh, she's just going home? Alright, that's interesting.
The attacking decorations are getting closer. We have to find more flamingos.
Forget it! It's useless! See how they're getting braver around? They're starting to realize they're harmless!
We are losing. Nothing's going to stop them. There's still hope. We just have to wait for Sam to turn off the tower transmissions. Are you saying that our lives depend on that idiot Sam? Then there's no hope. We're lost.
That's enough, Marty! Stop panicking and try to stay calm! Your comments aren't helping anyone!
Alright, so place giant balloon spider, break the spider out and get his lollipops. So, yeah, let's spawn the big boy here. It's interesting because how he does it, he kind of climbs on the side of the road, so it makes it look like he's going on top of the buildings, which is a nice little touch of detail here. I'll give him that. Yeah, and then someone pointed out to me that it's like, well, how are balloons, like, they can't hurt you, and it's like, well, in the movie, it's like metal frame, and I'm like, oh, right, you know what, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of that? Of course, the balloons isn't the thing, it's the metal structure, of course. Man, my oblivious mind back in the day, oh boy, how naive I was back then. Yeah, so I quickly looked online. There's nothing about pink flamingos from the movie, so this was completely something that just kind of came out of nowhere. Why were they afraid of the pink flamingos? Who knows? Only Pixowl knows. I don't even think they know. They just made an excuse where like, wow, we need pink flamingos for decorations. Sure, they're scared of them. Originally, when it came to Sarah's quest there, it was basically her and her like being scary decoration kind of deal. I think you've seen that animation before. I might have also showed it here, but I might have not. If you've seen her before wearing a green hat, witch, and looking weird.
It's been a very hectic day,
Oh, just like the title.
but very lucrative. Now it's time to get some rest.
Karu, Mari, Olana, Loma, Manu, Karanu.
What's that noise? It seems there's still someone here in the store. I better ask him to leave. I'm sorry, but the store's closed and... Hey, what's going on here? Where do all these monsters come from?
Oh, good afternoon. Could you tell me if there are discounts on costumes? I think I'll take them all. Hey, don't look at me like that. It's just a joke. Don't be a party pooper. I've saved this mask just for you.
Okay, spawn Fred Pharmacy and bring the inflatable madman to life. So just like in the original one here. So you're going to see a repeat, like basically spawn these characters. What's interesting about, about that scene in the movie, it's like, I'm going to bring these decorations to life, and I think there's like a Goosebumps section, so you had these like werewolf and abominable snowman. I'm like, oh good, so they just recycled that out. Right, out of the old movies. Like, well, we have these assets. Yeah, let's just have these masks just kind of get turned back, because why not? I think, this might just be me, but I think part of the reason why the other one failed, as far as financial goes for Sony, might have something to do with the fact that, yeah, and this is what I'm talking about, this animation here with her acting all spooky. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why this failed had something to do with the fact that it just had no, like, I don't know, it's gonna be strange. Like, I'm kind of optimistic when it comes to the new show coming out. I'm hoping it's good, but in my opinion, because this is coming from the same people from Sony and the same producer, I'm going to guess that it's going to be utilizing the things they got already. So we're looking at Abominable Snowman from Pasadena, confirmed. Werewolf Swamp, sure. I think they're also going to be throwing in some newer books in there, 100%. I'm only saying this because looking at the assets they have, I would say that instead of making more, to make more, just to make more money, they could just reuse what they have, because, why not, right? It saves them the cash. But anyways, let's continue on with Walter's midlife crisis here, as he's a new monster.
What have I done? I've tried to hurt people for no reason. I'm not like that. My face. What happened to my face? I'm a monster! What have you done to me?
Well, according to your profile walking around here, your face is just fine. It's just your animation and profile picture here. I think you're overreacting, Walter.
Walter, right? Have you finished reflecting about good and evil? Can we talk now? I'll explain it to you in time. As long as you have that mask, your will belongs to me. You will do everything I say.
Of course, Slappy. I'll do what you ask.
By the way, Walter, I think your good looks favors you.
You could see Slappy's mentality. He's just like, yeah, monster is great, human's bad. You know, that's his own mind. But even with the monster, he's like, yeah, but I'm the leader. I'm the one who created. Like, even the monsters don't care. But he wouldn't dare go after monsters. No, humans though, of course. I have something to talk about when it comes to Walter, though.
Greg, hey, everyone, we have to go to the library. Come on, it's only a safe place. Sarah, what are you doing here? It's dangerous. Come with us. We have to hide. Where are all the guests? What happened to the party? Why is Megan the only one here? What party is she talking about, Craig? I thought you said we were just having dinner together.
Ooh, we got busted. This is why everyone hates him. Sarah, I can explain. You see, it turns out that,
Forget it, Craig. You don't have to explain a thing. I suddenly understand.
Man, I feel bad for Sarah. Yeah, poor Sarah. She found out Greg was a tool. Just like, oh man, I'm after seeing this, you're probably happy with what happened to him in November. I can't say anything just yet, but you probably know by now. But I have to keep it optimistic because, you know. But as I was stating before, when it comes to Walter, interesting thing about him, in the Dead by Night game, he was featured in there. However, he was wearing a red shirt, so it was like a clone. And then at some point, he had more clones, ones with blue shirts. So it just was like, what was going on?
Look, the tower stopped emulating electricity arcs. That means
that Sam has saved us all. I knew it. I've always knew that Joker wouldn't let us down. Ha ha.
Oh, just shut up, Marty.
Lucy, your manners.
What? I can't believe they managed to disrupt Slappy's master plan. What a disappointment. Now I have to watch kids gobble candy instead of running to save their lives. Boo!
Aw, boo!
Listen, do you hear that?
I don't hear a thing. What are we supposed to be listening to?
Exactly. Listen to the silence. The danger's over.
Look, the decorations went back to normal. It's safe to go outside again.
Man, I wish I could go back outside. But then I looked and was like, oh yeah, it's 2020.
Come on, let's get out of here. Mortman, open the door.
Spawn Fred Pharmacies again. Get witches hats and get the those candy canes, sugar skulls. I have a thing to talk about with them for sure. But yeah. Man, isn't 2020 great? Man, I have to say I hate this pandemic. Partially because it has affected a lot of people, including myself. Whereas back in the day when it was like, oh, you know, I have a cold, but I can still go to work. Yeah, no, nowadays can't happen. If you have a cold, not going to let you come back into work. For safety protocols, you know, because we're at a point now where they're like, they can't take any more chances, which is a shame. But anyways, I'm now going to show off the bride and groom there. I'm going to have them do that, and then I'm going to have, you know, I have to have the bride and groom because I need that item they drop, unfortunately. And I'm going to have these do this again. You know, so. Yeah, some part later in my, this thing, you're going to hear past me back in probably October talking and kind of ranting about how the drops for some of these items were really bad, especially for the bride and groom, because it was like a 6-hour waiting period. And they never dropped the items. And I needed a bunch of them in order to get the sugar skulls. And I think this is coming when we get closer to... like, as of right now, it's fine. But when we get to the candy bags, near the end here, that's when the rant comes in. So, just, I do recall that's when I'm going to actually end up going to town to this with the game. But, you know, it's what it is. But, yeah, this, man, this year's been a wacky one, let's just say that. It's been very bizarre. A lot of people would say that this year is a bit poo-poo, you know. There's another better word for it, but I can't say it because YouTube doesn't like when you say the 13 bad words. Screw them, I say that. But, yeah, I think a lot of other people would refer to this year as being cancelled. Because a lot of things got canceled, but not everything. But I digress.
The city really looks like a battlefield. It's a scene straight out of Dante's Inferno.
How did you know? How do you know about Dante's Inferno? that is not a book for kids.
It'll take us all night to collect all these decorations and return them to their homes.
Well, the Drug Brothers can solve it. Special discounts for the first 5 customers who reserves our service.
That's enough, you brat! None of this would have happened if you hadn't been fooled by a doll.
You said it, Sarah. These clowns ruined Halloween for everybody.
Yep, and there we go. All done. Wah, wah, wah. So now...
After everything that happened, do you really think that's a good idea to celebrate Halloween? Putting together this celebration was a monumental effort by all of us. Are we going to let a horrible little doll with delusions of grandeur ruin it for everyone? I promised that I would make this year's Halloween party special, and I will keep my word. Alright, Lynne. You can count on me to help. Thanks, Agatha. Pass me that bag, will you? We have baskets to fill with candy.
Alright, so obtain some polluted drinks. That's nice, and place the Halloween table. Man, diluted drinks. Also, yeah, here comes the other 2 quest lines for both Sarah and Walter. So this is what you need for it. So let's just see what's this one here for Sarah.
This was the strangest Halloween party I've ever lived through my entire life. A diabolical doll transmits a spell through an old abandoned tower and all Halloween decorations in the city come to life. Hey, that's a good story to tell. Maybe I should follow Mr. Morton's advice and write in my first novel. But who will be the protagonist of this story? I guess the best thing to start is with someone like me. That way I can portray exactly how I would think and act in each situation. I have to invent an alter ego. A more attractive version with a soul more adventurous than me.
Yeah, write a story about haunted Halloween, observe some candy, baskets. I'm going to hold off on that because it's going to be needed for another one. However, what's interesting is the alter ego she actually picked out, I think is a nod to Lucy, because the way she describes it, as you'll see, I'll mention it when we get closer there, this is the animation for it. She mentions, well, you'll see, but anyways, with Walter, though.
I don't know. I haven't felt like this since I was a teenager. I think I'm losing my head. No offense. No worries. Listen, laddie. If you really like that lass, you'll have to talk to her, even if you look a little bit funny in the face. You're right. If I don't pursue what I want, I'll never get it. I have to go and tell Lynne I love her. Thanks, inflatable garden gargoyle. By the way, I like your accent. Oh, thank you kindly, lad. I talk like this because I'm made in Scotland, as McTagg says.
Have him bring flowers bouquet to Mrs. Dark. Yeah, you know, kids, you don't know if someone's Scottish unless you hear bagpipes behind it. Am I right? Oh, man. Yeah, so this is animation when it comes to this. Yeah, so he got his only monster form out and about there. And, oh, look, there's Lynne. Look, Walter, Lynne's there. Go get her. Go hit him, Romeo. Oh, there he goes. Are they going to meet up? Here he goes. Yep. And it passed. Oh, well. It wasn't meant to be. Yeah, so anyways, now we're going to go ahead and do... This is what's needed. Pumpkin lanterns, the candy, and then we need the lollipops. So, you know, some of these items are easy to do. But the candy bags, I had a real problem with that. To what it is. By the way, when I mentioned with the whole problem dialogue thing here it comes again for Walter's part. So the next 3 screens are going to take it from my old video, but the dialogue is pretty much the same as before, so bear with me.
Ah!
Get out of my house! Leave me alone!
Get out of here, Casanova. Wait until your bride finds out you're chasing another woman on your wedding day. Hello. Maybe it's not the best time, but I thought maybe we could...
Get away from me, you monster!
Wait, Lynne, it's me, Walter. Lynne? Oh, sure. My normal face returns as soon as she runs away. Curse you, Slappy!
Yeah, Slappy always there just to block ya, man.
The lights are on. It seems they're celebrating Halloween after everything that's happened. I don't know if I should knock on her door. Maybe she'll just invite me into her home to be polite. How can I know? What if she finds me a nuisance? What if she finds out that I was the monster in the green face? But if I don't try, I'll never know. I have to be brave and follow the advice of the inflatable gargoyle. Breathe, Walter. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, here I go.
Celebrate Halloween at Darks' house and gain some candy. See? Look at that. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I believe there's going to be another one for for this one after this is done. I'm going to need a candy, so I'm going to wait until we get closer to there. But, yeah. How does it feel to know that you probably watched more than 2 movies on some mobile game application and a playthrough of some guy who did this? Ah, man. Don't get me wrong, I have fun with this, and quite frankly, it was fun to revisit this. One of my favorites, as of right now, as a recording of this, my favorite event thus far that they ever did. But, this being said, I have to admit, this was so long to do. Oh man, it was so, so long, and it was so... I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, after we do this, we'll complete both quests, I believe. So let's go ahead.
Luckily, Lynne didn't recognize me when I was wearing this miserable mask. I should get rid of it right now. Although, now it seems harmless. I wonder what would happen if I use it again. I guess there's no way to find out.
Incredible. It still works. I guess I should keep it. It could be useful at some point.
Yeah, like trying to scare a monster from your camp.
Look, player, Walter's going through the typical identity problems a new monster experiences. I can't wait to see the look on Walter's face when he discovers Mrs. Dark's true visage. Ha ha!
And just like that, Walter is done.
Haunted Halloween by Sarah Quinn. Lucy slammed the book closed with a mixture of relief that she had escaped the danger and disappointment, as if she missed it. In closing in pages she had just read, there was that monster who made her heart flutter like never before.
Oh, great. She's reading a typical R.L. Stine book.
She fantasized the stories in her books would come true, but the city where she lived was completely devoted of mysteries.
Great introduction. I recognize a bestseller with the first paragraph. I can't wait to see how it continues. I wonder if you'll need a good-looking skeleton to present the synopsis of the back cover. It worked very well in the past. Ha ha!
Oh yeah, poor Curly. He used to be the mascot from Goosebumps. Not anymore. Now no one knows who he is. Except people like us, we know. Poor Curly. Yeah, poor Curly. But yeah, if you mentioned that before, as you noticed, she named the character Lucy and the whole town full of mystery and her books and all that. Yeah, so it's like a little nod to Lucy Del Rio, which I thought was kind of clever. I didn't catch that when I first originally read it before, but now I can fully appreciate it. So, good on you, Pixowl, for sneaking that in there. Also, when I mentioned about the typical R.L. Stine book, I am of course talking about the Fear Street series. Let's be honest here.
The candy baskets are full again, but there's enough for all the houses in the city. Now let's get busy distributing them before the children come to claim their candy.
Hey, did it.
The masked mutant only has to transform into a leopard to send a galloping gazelle running like a coward.
Oh, don't worry. He ran like a coward before. I'm done. I'm too tired, kid. You're on your own. Bless the late Adam West. He was so good to us.
The galloping gazelle is not a coward. The leopard is his natural enemy, and he can't control his instincts. Well, then you can't deny that in addition to being stronger, the mutant's more intelligent. Okay, maybe he's smarter than the gazelle, but he's no smarter than Dr. Maniac.
Hey, another name drop here, Dr. Maniac. Hey, Pixowl, when are we gonna get Dr. Maniac in the game? We need that madman.
Dr. Maniac? You can't defend a character by bringing in someone else. You're being deceitful again. Alright, you have a point, I guess. Come on, let's go trick-or-treating at that house.
Have Sonny go trick-or-treating and obtain the candy bags. Oh boy, the nightmare's begun. Yeah, so, yeah, for some reason, every time I have Sonny do a quest, I can't click on him. It's weird. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, we've already seen many of these before. You probably will see them in Trick or Trap if you're ever curious. So go look into that if you're curious about the whole, how these kids look like when they're doing their trick-or-treating. But something interesting I'll point out is the fact that, speaking of Adam West, playing as the Galloping Gazelle, this is of course because Adam West was famous for playing Batman, and after that he played as himself afterwards, playing other characters that was kind of like Batman. And I guess they somehow got Adam West to play the Galloping Gazelle during the Goosebumps of the 90s. And a fun fact, he actually portrayed his role as the Galloping Gazelle in the Goosebumps Attack of the Mutant video game. So if you want some more action for the whole legend of the mutant, you can just play that game because it goes in depth with like the League of Bad Guys.
I'm gonna say this right now. I do not like this objection. These candy bags are garbage. Because this is what you need to craft it, right? The gummy bears, that's fine. The candy blood bags, that's fine, because I seem to be getting okay with all this stuff. The garbage part is getting the sugar skulls because you need the witch, and the only thing you can get that from is the bride and groom skeletons. And guess what? I've been summoning these guys every chance I get. And wouldn't you know it, they only drop about 70%, and they still suck. And what's even worse is that this takes so long to get done, so it's like even more garbo. I just want to throw this in here because I want to show my grievances with this to kind of imply, but, you know, whatever, back to the video.
Guys, oops. I said before I was going to make a rant, and I totally forgot because I was into the whole Adam West thing and the League of Bad Guys. Yeah, that game was somewhat interesting. If I could ever emulate that, I would totally do so. But yes, this was what I was talking about. When we got to this point here, it was a pain to try to get all this going. And as you'll notice, as of right now, we're no longer in the Halloween update. We're in the next update, which you get a sneak peek at. Don't look into it. It's exactly what it might be. You know, this is still Halloween. This is still October. It didn't take long for the bride and groom to do their thing. No, it was always Halloween. But yeah, you can see how long these take, and especially the vampire one took like 3 months. One of them because it didn't pop in because of an error, which again, once we get to that video, I will explain more in depth with that. And then completing the quest, and then just grinding to get the item. It keeps you busy. I'll give you that. It keeps you busy, but still. I love how they're kind of putting in a little lore in here every so often, you know. And I'm sure this update was a little bit more lore heavy as far as things go, like the fact that, did you know that the Candyman and Chucky was a thing in this universe, and Pennywise? Yeah, they are, but not to the point. Oh, and apparently Freddy Krueger worked at their school. That was a bit, but I don't know how to feel about that one because of the whole implications. Oh yeah, after November when they updated, his trick-or-treating animation now drops a jack-o'-lantern, so it made your life a lot more easier. I just wanted to share that information because that made like, oh yeah, that's interesting to know. So,
Thanks for the candy, Mrs. Dark. I'm sorry that your yard got destroyed. I hope you can still enjoy the party with your family.
Thank you, Sam, but my children didn't come to visit me.
how sad.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry.
It's alright. I'm sure they'll have another chance to see them in the future.
Yeah, another drop. Hey, Pixowl, get Lucille and Randy in the game. Come on, chop chop. Yeah, come on. You know, you got 2 characters now you got to put in the game. Come on, 2021, make it happen.
Wow, how did you get so much candy tonight? Did you rob a candy store? You just better not eat all the sweets and then complain about a stomach pain.
No, of course we didn't rob a candy store. Come on, Sam. You can leave your sweets here.
Are you going to go out and ask for more candy? Don't you think you already have more than enough?
We are done asking for sweets, but we have an important commitment we can't miss. But you better not touch my candy while I'm gone, Sarah. I've counted every piece.
Yes, all 5 pieces. So, 10 candy baskets. It's a little bit more easier since I got the candy bag, so there's that. But, yeah. We're getting closer to the end, don't worry, folks. We're already like, what? Oh my, an hour and 6 minutes in. Dang, do you think that's enough? It's still going. It's never over. It's never over. It's still gonna go on. That was one of the big complaints I had too, was it was too much. So much stuff. We never got this much anymore. Ooh.
Why did the singing pony have to cancel his performance? Because he was a little hoarse. I know another one. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? It turns out, okay, he woke up.
Enough! My stomach hurts from laughing.
Wow, really? You laugh at such the stupidest jokes. I mean, look who's talking. Yeah, Grim, you shut your mouth.
Thank you for coming to celebrate this special day with me. It has been very fun.
We're the ones who are grateful for your hospitality, Mrs. Dark.
Yeah, what a hypocrite I am, right?
You see, when my children were small, I saved their favorite sweets for them. I had prepared a surprise for them. But I guess it's fine if I give it to someone else this year.
You shouldn't do that, Mrs. Dark. But if you insist, there's still room in my stomach for more piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Alright, wait here. I'll bring you some.
The gummy bear monstrosity, and get some more gummy bears. Yeah, let's be honest. Who else didn't think about the piece of candy when you were reading that in? Oh no, we can't spoil what's going on over there. Pay no attention to what's going on the left. That has nothing to do with what we're doing. Yes, okay, now you can look. Nothing's going on over there. Shh. Nothing's there. This is all haunted Halloween stuff. Nothing more, no less. Okay? But we're finally on our last oh no. Ignore that. Okay, yeah. Oh man, I am so bad when it comes to this stuff. But keeping secrets. What secrets? I'm just like Pixowl. I just expose them myself. Especially with this particular update, because when I get to the part 22, 23, it'll be interesting to talk about what they did with this update as far as content goes, because oh boy. Right, so we're on our last part finally. We've been such a long road and we're finally coming to the end. Aren't you happy? We're finally going to get that witch Sabbath and we're going to be done with this, and that's the end of that story. But unfortunately that's not really it as of now. But yeah, so that is it when it comes to this quest line. So I might as well go ahead and kind of talk about this now because, you know, let's be honest here. Is it worth the price? Now, when you saw me buying it, obviously I had a lot of stuff, so really it wasn't. But, however, this being the case, if the people were curious, In my humble opinion, I would say yes. I think it totally is worth it. Just because of look how much stuff you get. You get so much stuff. You get a lot of the character animations. You get a lot of characters. You get a lot of scenes. Not only that, but you get a lot of big quest stories, so you get more cash and stuff. Plus, not only that, but then you also get what is it? You get like a bunch of interesting items and whatnot. So really, it's like it's not a bad decision if you're gonna invest into this book. I think if anything, as of right now, this is like the only book that's worth the price. I will say, if you've actually never played this event before, it's actually worth it, but unfortunately when it comes to people like us, people who played the game since the very beginning, it's not really the best price when you have to pay that much for barely a lot of stuff and only for one particular building, which sucks. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they're gonna move on with this comes to this particular quest as far as things go. But let's conclude the story.
Here they are. Enjoy.
Gummy bears! We've already had enough scares tonight. Get them away from me! Ah!
With their newfound fear of candy, those children will never have cavities problems again. Ha ha! Good for them. You'll never know, your candy might turn and devour you in one bite. Happy Halloween, player.
Happy Halloween to you, Curly, and we're finally done. That is Haunted Halloween in a nutshell. It was a fun story indeed. One thing that kind of was a bit weird is the fact that the gummy bears never really appeared within the game's dialogue exchange. In the game, the currency was gummy bears as well as getting gummy bears. And yes, you had to spawn the gummy bears. But really, they weren't like in the movie where they were like, oh, there was a scene there, and that was it. But they made like gummy bears be a thing, like, oh no, not the gummy bears, right? You had more of the witches, if anything. Gummy bears had no appearance whatsoever as far as dialogue goes. Missed opportunity, I will say. But what can you do? You may also notice that other monsters, like one particular monster, the Headless Horseman, was not featured during this. That is because the Headless Horseman has been featured in another update, one update that I've done before, which is Be Afraid. And you'll be pleasantly surprised to know that that will be another special book that I'm going to have to talk about. And I was surprised to see how fast I was going to talk about it too, because it came out literally like within a few months, and then we got the book already. But you probably won't see that until next year, just by judging by how I'm doing these stuff. Time-wise, yes, but also because of the whole update schedule. Hopefully I'll be able to catch everything up, but things like this take some time, just like how long it takes me just to get this stuff here. So, next item is the candy pops. Then we go over here to get ourselves the weird gummy bear creature. That looks so creepy, by the way. I'll mention that. The gummy bears, this here. Yeah, okay, and you've already seen what the other two books that got added in here as well. Yeah, I was surprised to see that was there. I would be interesting to talk about when it gets to near November, so pay attention to that. And yes, I know I'm ignoring the elephant in the room about what's going on in the update in the background, and everyone knows what it is. But I'm pretending as if it's not here, like, oh, what is this strange thing in the background? But we only know it's about trick or trap, right? Right, guys? It's trick or trap. It's not whatever this is with weird. I don't know what's with the cat. Who knows? The inflatable cat. No, and the vampires. I don't know. We're not talking about vampires. Yeah, we just need this, and it's a pain. A pain indeed. Just one more. And finally, after some time, finally got this. And how bad was it? Well, I completed this quest line. Like the quest line to this new game. Alright, the new update that's going on right now. The November one. That's how long it took me to get all this stuff going. And here it is. The Witch Sabbath. Which is actually roughly based off of the witches with Fred's Pharmacy. And I like this decoration, I'll be honest with you. it was, believe it or not, this is the only decoration I've never gotten able to be put down. So it was a nice satisfaction to be able to do this without me just kind of going like, oh, well, I'm done now. Yeah, so now this is the kind of thing I'm going for. So I've kind of designed it so that Fred's Pharmacy, it looks like they're kind of selling the Halloween stuff on the side here as far as like the little area goes. So all these spawns are basically going to be appearing over here. And of course we can't have Walter and Theo advertise themselves for the now gone voting thing that happened back in July. That was a mess. I can't wait to talk about that again. But yeah, now we're gonna put the spider right here, make it nice and pretty. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. So now we're gonna get a nice view of the actual Witch Sabbath, and then we are going to show you the animations that did not appear in this, and they didn't drop anything, by the way. So this is Sam's dancing animation we've seen many times before, but this is the animation that didn't get shown during this quest line, which is weird. Another one was Sam playing with a toy car, or Sonny, my bad, not Sam, this is Sonny. This is Sarah's quest I talked about, the Keepy Uppy, which is with a shocker ball, so this is what she does. And of course, last is Walter when he does the pruning bushes here. And that is it as far as animation goes. Trick-or-treating stuff, that will be appearing in the other Halloween stuff. But yeah, that's about it. So certainly I would say this update's worth your time if you want to dig into it. There's a lot of content. I mean, look at this. It's almost like 2 hours worth of content. And I've only kind of scrunched it down, right? You didn't see the long pauses I had to take. But anyways, I talked on long enough. I need a rest now. So hope you enjoyed this update. I'll see you very, very soon. So until then, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.